You know, that this is a wild movie if you think about it.
No, listen, I'm gonna go a step further and say this is actually a bad movie. But with that said, it is iconic. So we're gonna talk gangster movies, right? Well, you know, these are like, you know, because I haven't looked at this list yet. All right, I haven't looked at this list yet. I haven't looked at all at it. I just know that gangster movies are sometimes crime movies, right? Like, is Heat a gangster movie? When we think gangster movies, do we think Heat, for example? You know what I mean? Or is that a heist movie? Or is that a crime movie?
Yeah, it's like I would say it's more of like a crime.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a gang, or almost kind of like a gang. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, you put it in that. I put it in the realm.
Yeah, in the realm for sure, and some of it has to do with the actors too. I think too, right? Where it's like you got this movie here and Robert De Niro's in it. So is Meet the Parents now a mob movie, or what is this?
Right.
What is this about? Hold on, you know what I mean?
But the thing is, what makes Meet the Parents so funny is partly because De Niro has played those roles.
Correct.
So seeing him in this like somewhat in this comical like thing, you're still, even though he was supposed to be like a CIA,
correct,
you still think mafia.
Yeah, which is to your point. That adds it because he's essentially the complete opposite of what we have known him for.
Yeah,
and all these other movies, you know what I mean? Is now all of a sudden he's this, and you know, even like along those lines, like the whole 9 yards. I think that made it weird for Bruce Willis. Yeah, it's like I just know Bruce Willis to be a cop with a short temper, and now he's a mob dude. It never made sense to me. It's like this doesn't add up. You know what I mean? So yeah, all right. So let's look at this list here. What are we? I don't know if this starts at 1. Before we go into this, if just think off the top of your head, what would be your number 1 mob/crime movie if you had to pick one?
Oh, you know, mine's is Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, that's your number 1, huh?
Yeah.
You know, we've had this conversation. I'm a Casino person. I have Casino above Goodfellas.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is, Casino's like it. I thought I was in between, but I think the part that I just started getting mad at the Sharon Stone like part, and it started dragging it. Yeah, I feel like that got a little dragged out. And maybe I was just more annoyed. Yeah. I'm like, don't be stupid, man. You know, like you're so smart. Why are you letting But Goodfellas, I felt was like, I guess like faster paced.
Okay, no, that's fair. You know, because the reason I did this because I watched Casino last night, and I had a different perspective on Sharon Stone and Sharon Stone's character that I'm going to offer up, because Sharon Stone becomes the mascot for why everything falls apart. Right. She becomes everyone's finger pointing. Everyone points at Sharon Stone. But what I actually realized watching the movie is that Sharon Stone actually represents the inconsistencies in all these characters. Ace is supposed to be this super consistent, smart dude, and then he gambles with Sharon Stone. Joe Pesci is supposed to be this, gangster, but keeps all his ducks in a row, but then he gambles. And Sharon Stone is just what represents all of this friction. You know what I mean? She represents the friction, but she's not the cause of the friction necessarily.
No, she's not, because he forced it.
Correct. Exactly right. Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly right. But so I look at her character a little bit different now. You know what I mean? But let's get into the movie. But before, let me think. What's my favorite?
I thought you said Casino.
No, I like Casino better than Goodfellas.
Oh, okay, got you.
I on the surface, I want to say Godfather 1. I like Godfather 1 maybe the most. If he is included in this, it might be Heat. Oh no, but then Carlito's Way is literally my favorite movie of all time. You know what I mean? I don't know if that is this type of movie. I mean, it kind of should be, kind of. You know what I mean? Yeah. If Carlito's Way is part of this, it's Carlito's Way for me. And I could spend 2 hours talking about why Carlito's Way is incredible. But anyway, let's get into this list. Let's see what the fuck we got here. So 30 is American Gangster. I'm not mad at this. No. So we're starting at 30. Okay, we're starting at 30 going backwards. Actually seems low for American Gangster. No, maybe am I wrong?
No.
I guess we gotta see what else is here. Yeah.
Because I felt like American Gangster, though you are talking about like a big gang, leader. it was more. I felt like it was more like. So I guess it's really what you expect in a gang, like in a gangster movie.
Yeah.
Right. I guess with me, I feel more crime. Like I need like heavy crime, like a good amount of violence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, that type of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I think what American Gangster did was it took someone, it put light on someone who people would have never thought could have been running this gigantic enterprise.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Especially when that came out, you know, because all the mafia people were like, I think before this movie are like glorified. I mean, besides like, you know, Sugar Hill and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, are, you know, it's always like mafia, like they're the classy gangsters.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
This kind of flipped it into like culturally, like look what was happening here. Mm-hmm. You know, like it wasn't just the mob bosses who were, you know, wearing suits and doing this stuff. So, and this is a true story. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a good movie. It's a good movie, but and I think that's fine. I could do 30.
You know what's funny about this movie? If this movie was directed today and came out today, it would be, I think, a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because the focus would then be more, we touch base on it, on like this attitude, right? Where this dude is coming from Harlem.
Yeah.
And the like him being pressed to not be flashy at all.
Right,
because that's exactly what they're looking for, right? This black dude from the projects that's going to get flashy as soon as he gets money, the discipline that goes along with not being that. I think this would be a different movie today, and maybe even probably might end up making it higher on this list. But because the movie came out at that time, I don't think it had the same context. You know what I mean? It didn't have the context of what's happening today to rely on to change the messaging.
Right. And which is like, you know, it might be, I don't know if it's better like that, because like I don't like stuff like that.
Okay.
Like what you're saying, like how they'll change the story.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Based on like people's lenses now.
Correct.
Like on the vibe that everybody is.
Correct.
That they're on.
Yeah.
It feels like you're trying to sneak something.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. That's fair, but I do think that I see what you're saying, but I do see a world where they end up making what's his face, Gladiator, Russell Crowe's character, like an asshole cop, as opposed to the nice cop that ends up becoming friends with Frank Lucas. Shout out to this movie though, because it inspired one of Jay-Z's 5 best movies, 5 best albums ever.
Yeah.
American Gangster is a fucking classic. Let's move on. So that's 30. King of New York, man. There's 30 movies better than American Gangster and King of New York. My mind must be short. King of New York is a fucking classic.
Yeah. It is.
How do you feel about this at 29?
You know, that I think that's where it's like.
I feel like Scarface is already going to be too high, looking at where we are here on the list.
No. You can't. Here's the thing. Well, okay. It depends.
Let's save the Scarface conversation because it's going to be here and it's going to be too high no matter where it is.
Right. So it's a good. It's a not too. The thing is, not that many people, I feel like, know about this movie.
That's a good point.
A lot of people don't talk about it. So this was something that you know, kind of went under the radar for, like, I mean, it's always been under the radar.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just like Christopher Walken is like such a good character in this movie.
So great.
Like there's like a part where he's just like dancing to hip hop.
Yeah.
It like you could tell, like he's just like he's all about. He's like on another level.
Yeah.
With his stuff, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. He is the coolest.
Yeah.
He is one of the coolest. If we were ranking like gangster movie characters, he's up there. You know what I mean? Because he's so fucking cool about everything.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is? I think what I kind of like about this movie is the like the two cultures. Like you have this white guy, but he's like deep within like hood.
Yep.
You know, like, and they all ride for him.
Correct.
So, which I don't think you really see in a lot of the other movies. They're kind of like split within neighborhoods and whatnot.
Yeah. The other funny thing about this movie is that you could ask somebody if they know who Frank White is, and it's just as likely that they say, isn't that Biggie's alter ego, as it is that they would actually mention this movie.
Right.
Also, we get Lawrence Fishburne playing a character we've never seen him play before, like this gangster dude. Like that's literally out of his character. It's not who he is at all.
Yeah.
And he plays it heavy, but it doesn't feel disingenuous or inauthentic. You know what I mean? Yeah. It feels like, yo, this is good. Like,
yeah, no, he could go there.
Yeah.
And it's rare because like he's kind of one of those guys who always plays like these highly intelligent, like well spoken,
like Boys in the Hood, right? That's
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, like in Boys in the Hood,
yeah. Like he'll do a hood movie, but he's not like you would consider like the product of the hood, like
correct
stereotype. But like there, he nails it.
He fucking kills this. He kills. It's really one of my favorite Lawrence Fishburne roles. You know what I mean? Like, but both of these roles, him and what's his face, Christopher Walken, fantastic. I don't know what this is. Have you seen this movie?
I've never seen this movie.
I mean, I know who that is. That's the dude from Everybody Loves Raymond, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a Taxi Driver.
He's a Taxi Driver. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so this is kind of. It says it's
by Whitey
inspired by Whitey Bulger.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. I got to watch this movie now. I've never heard of this movie in my life.
Me neither. Friends of Eddie
Coyle. This is something cute. Yeah, critics pick. Of course, it's the critics always want to pick something that no one's ever heard of because they think it makes them look smart.
It looks like a TV movie. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. And I can't see him and think gangster movie. Killing Them Softly. This is an interesting pick. I've only watched this movie once because I didn't think it was that good. I'm going to be honest with you. This is another artsy pick to me.
Yeah. No, you're right. I actually tried to watch this not that long ago. James Gandolfini is awesome in it.
Correct. And Brad Pitt is good in it too, I think. I just don't know but I don't find it's not that he's not good. I think he's too big for the role almost. Right? Am I tripping or do you think he's just not good in it?
You know what it is? I think what frustrates me about and maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's just that you never see him play someone who's like unhinged.
Yeah.
So it's always like he's always like the smartest guy.
Correct. You're right.
So like sometimes you just don't want to see that. I don't know.
No, that's a good point. That's fair.
But you know what? Definitely those two movies I think should be higher than this.
For sure. Absolutely. This is so fucking forgettable, man. Like this is a very forgettable movie. I can't believe how high this is. Like I mean how I can't believe those other two movies are not above this. Nobody is thinking, yo, what's the movie that we just talked about? What's his face? King of New York. That's like inspired the whole things.
Yeah.
I don't see any rappers calling themselves James Gandolfini's character here, making albums inspired by Killing Them Softly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I couldn't even tell you the story of this movie. That's how forgettable it is. Like, again, most of these games are movies I've seen twice or I own on DVD. Yeah. This is not a movie I own on DVD. I bootleg this shit.
I have American Gangster and King of New York on DVD. I don't got this.
Yeah, and I don't have the Friends of Eddie Coyle either.
Yeah, Eddie Coyle.
Yeah, which we've already forgot about. Now, a movie we have on DVD. We both have this on DVD, I'm sure. Yeah. I have it. I'm sure you have it.
Yeah.
This is a classic.
And here's the thing. It's a classic. There's like just a small level of cheese to it.
Okay, I agree with that.
Of like drama, like campiness, I guess. But overall, the thing is like Robert De Niro is in the little bit that he's in.
Yep,
it's good.
He's pitching heat. He's in it for 10 minutes and it's all fire. He's pitching 98 the whole time.
Yeah, and then just the story of the Untouchables. Like you had like these different characters.
Yeah.
You fall in love with, I think all the good, like Kevin Costner's like kind of like the goody.
Yep.
shoes guy. Just he's the good guy.
Correct.
Then you have like Sean Connery, who everyone everyone loves his character.
He's the best character of the movie.
He is.
He kills.
And then, even the guy with the pipe. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I love movies of like where like an ensemble and they all have like that thing.
The posse movie.
Right. I love You're right. That's it. And Andy Garcia, he's like the sharpshooter. Like I just like it.
Yeah. You can't go. No, you can't go wrong. You literally cannot go wrong. And this is almost less a mob movie and more a cop movie kind of.
Yeah.
But it is fantastic. Sean Connery's character is iconic as shit. He didn't even want to do the fucking movie, which is kind of like a little funny thing about it. And he literally is he just not wanting to do the movie inspires like one of the best characters in all these movies.
Yeah.
I almost feel like this should be higher, but we'll see what else is coming up. I mean, but you're right. It is campy. It is 100% campy. It's made in 87 and it feels that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel ahead of its time. It feels very much it was made at this time period.
Right.
But it's not bad.
Right.
The Killing. I've never seen this movie.
Yeah, I mean that's.
It's Stanley Kubrick though. Inspiration to the likes of Reservoir Dogs. I have heard of this movie though. Of stealing $2 million at the racetrack. He's stealing $2 million in 1956.
That's like a billion.
Yeah, he's like trying to be a billionaire. You know what I mean? It's like Ocean's 11. All right, moving on from The Killing. Mafioso. I've heard of this movie. I've never seen it. Have you seen this movie?
No.
We're not doing a good job on this list so far. Well, they're not doing a good job on this. This is, again, that balances comedy and tragedy effortlessly. I think this movie actually inspires. I might be wrong. No, I'm thinking of a different movie that's going to come up on this list, I'm sure. Okay, Scarface is not actually too high. Okay, that's fair. Okay, go ahead. Give me your minute about Scarface.
No. I mean, the thing is, I think now when you think about it might be it's the top 5 most iconic gangster movies of all time. It should be higher just because of the influence.
Okay.
You feel like
listen, here's the thing.
Think about it.
It's a little unfair because we grew up in hip hop, right? Hip hop is our blood.
Right.
And this movie is an avatar for hip hop. You know what I mean? Literally represents so much about gangster rap.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
All the way to Rick Ross's Push It to the Limit, which is Rick Ross never heard Push It to the Limit, I'm sure, until he saw Scarface. The only time he ever heard Push It to the Limit, no one would have ever heard it.
Yeah.
Which was a fire Rick Ross song, by the way. But anyway.
Yeah.
But the movie, if we're just talking about the movie itself, it's iconic, sure.
No, but you know what? It is, but it's also one of the most violent. Like, there's some scenes on there.
Facts. I mean, to the point, it got taken out of movie theaters at one point, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, you gotta.
Yeah, it's gratuitous for sure. Some of the violence is gratuitous. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is 19, and this is, here's where I'll also. Mm-hmm. This is probably the first big drug movie.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, because every gangster movie really before this is purposely staying out of drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mafia, whatever.
Yeah.
This is just.
I mean, Godfather goes out of the way to say he does not want to sell drugs. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, this is. It's about the drug game, like on the big scale
in Miami, which is the if you know anything about drug culture, Miami is the epicenter essentially of the cocaine epidemic in this country.
Exactly. I mean, and like think. I think one of the things is I think these are the movie that we got beaten over the head with, for so long, and it's hard to respect it. But when you look at that like end scene, when he says "say hello to my," that's iconic, bro. It's like
no question.
Like,
listen,
and I think one of the this scene right here.
Yeah,
he's done.
Correct.
He's lost it, and I think everyone wants to go out blazing like that. They're like, they're like, yo, I don't want to just die like as a like if I have to go out like that, I'm gonna take people like it's iconic, right? So I think I was at the same thing. I'm like, it's not as good as everyone was piping it up back in the day. But when you think about the time, I could see why it happened, because think about any other movie during that time. You know, this is a wild movie if you think about it.
No, listen, I'm gonna go a step further and say this is actually a bad movie. But with that said, it is iconic. It operates in a place that, like, I can't think. What's a good example of something like this? I can't. I can't think of a good example of something like this where the art is not necessarily good, but everything that it presents, it tells a story that we haven't really been told since, of Cubans migrating here, essentially being put in internment camps, and what's created from that, them becoming these big drug dealers. Where Colombia is not the main part of the movie at all. You know what I mean? It has something to do, obviously, by the end of it, but the point of this movie is a Cuban refugee. You know what I mean? And there's so many iconic parts, but the problem is the movie is way too long.
Yeah.
His accent is really wild. It is really off the charts. He's not Cuban. I mean, he could be anything. I don't know what he is.
Yeah.
And it's not good, but I respect it. I respect what it means. But what I'm seeing, 23 is fine with me. That it should be on any list.
Yeah.
Even if you did a top 20 gangster movies, then I would say this has to be moved up to 20, right? Because to your point, what you're saying is, it's so iconic, it needs to be on here. It inspired. It's so part of hip-hop, too. It's too hard to just not include. But if it was in the top 10, I would have a problem with that for sure.
No, I think it has to be top 10.
No, you're tripping.
Right, let's keep going.
Is better than King of New York, you think? A better movie than King of New York? The fact you're thinking about it already, come on.
Yeah, I think I would.
Stop. All right, let's move on. Let's see what's in the top 10. Well, we get there. Menace to I didn't think about this as a gangster movie, but I'm completely fine with putting this on the list.
This movie's out of pocket too.
Yeah, this is an incredible. I mean, it's a classic. This is a fucking. We literally just mentioned it like a couple minutes ago.
I would put. I don't have a problem with it being there.
No, not at all. No. Again, because to the point where we talk about gangster movies, I have to understand what this criteria is, because it could just be moving all over the list. And usually I don't see black movies like this included in gangster, like movies like Juice or this. They're always on their own list, right? It's always Juice, Menace. What's the other one? With Ice Cube. Oh my fucking goodness. This is disgusting.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm completely cool with this movie. I mean, it adds context to the list. I mean, you could argue Menace to Society higher. I thought it was the best of all those movies. Even though I know a lot of people like Boys in the Hood better than Menace, but I was a bigger fan of Menace personally.
Yeah, Menace was. I felt darker.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree for sure. I agree. All right, let's see what else we got here. Mean Streets. I've never seen this movie, but I've heard of it.
I tried to watch it. I feel like I just need to give it a big, I have to stick with it longer. It's one of those movies from the 70s are like a lot of times hard to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them don't age well. That's what makes Godfather so great, is it ages flawlessly.
Right.
I watched Serpico. I bought Serpico on DVD, hoping to get that feel, and Serpico is fucking wow. I'll never watch. I watched it once. That is it. You know?
It's just something I feel like they drag.
Yeah.
Like it's just I don't know what it is about that in the 70s. It's just like. Whew.
Yeah, it's just not perfected. A lot of cocaine. It's just like the NBA. You know what I mean? People are just doing all types of drugs, and the product is not the same. Donnie Brasco. I mean,
Donnie Brasco should be out top 10.
Yeah, I feel like this should be higher. This movie, I've only watched this movie twice, but it's because it makes me so sad.
You've only seen this movie? I've seen this movie like...
No, because it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. The Al Pacino character breaks my fucking heart. You know what I mean? But it's a classic. I love this movie. It's incredible. It should be top 10. but it just breaks my fucking heart. You know what I mean? It's like it becomes hard for me to watch. I hate Michael Madsen. Yeah, like this movie made me hate Michael Madsen in everything he does. You know what I mean? Like
I love Michael Madsen.
I love Michael Madsen, but I hated him so much because of this movie.
And you know what's crazy is for a long time, probably like my first, let me see, like first like 12, 13 years on Earth, I thought all I knew of Michael Madsen was Free Willy.
Oh.
He's the stepdad, right?
Yeah. So
whenever I can't even put the time on it because I saw a lot of these movies early. But like he was the dad in this movie. You know, I didn't know that he, you know.
Yeah, had a whole other life where he's doing like wild, crazy shit in movies. He never, you know, one thing about Michael Madsen, he may not be the best actor, right? Like he may not blow you away with his acting, but no one would ever say he doesn't add value to any movie he's in.
Yeah, you know, I think where people are like, he won't carry the movie, but he's an awesome character in the movie.
Yeah, him, Steve Buscemi, like are of that same ilk. If they're involved in a movie, they're going to add value to it.
I'm intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Michael Madsen is no different. Even though in this movie he plays a different part almost, because usually he is kind of like a hitman or a helper. In this movie, he's kind of like a made dude. So it's a little bit different, but still, I do feel like this should be better. This should be higher. Would that be better than Scarface? I feel like that's better than Scarface.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yep. Snatch.
Yeah, you can put this movie on any fucking list. It's like just literally one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I fucking love everything about Snatch.
It's so weird because like it's one of those that I don't know if like I don't think of it as a gangster movie, but now that I do, on here, I could see where they get it.
Yeah,
but this is one of like an amazing movie.
Yeah, it's the excuse me, that Rona. It's the that British gangster dude. You know, he's like the head of the mafia there, and it's about this fighting ring kind of. And there's also a heist involved.
This is fast paced.
Yeah, fast paced for sure. It's a banging story that you kind of breeze through, and when you look back, like when it gets serious, you're not ready for it. Like when they kill. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Snatch for whatever stupid reason, stop it here. But when they kill his mom, when they kill Brad Pitt's mom, it like gets so serious so quickly. Like, what the fuck am I watching right now? What just happened? Like, it was just airy and funny, and now it's crazy.
Man, like the thing is, this is one of those movies. You know, the reason, like, I love like movies that have like a lot of different characters, but memorable, like eccentric characters. And this movie has it all.
Yeah,
like they even like narrate it. Like there's some narration in this movie, right?
Correct.
And like, you know, they, you know, it's just like from I mean, Brad, this is probably one of Brad Pitt's best acting performances.
For sure. Absolutely.
You know,
which he does because he essentially, they said he sucked so bad at having like an Irish accent that he goes with that gibberish where you can't understand what he's saying essentially. And leave it to Guy Ritchie to essentially get what's his face, what's his name, Transporter, Jason Statham.
Yeah.
To be in movies where he's not fighting. You know what I mean? Because he's always fighting. If you just watch Guy Ritchie movies, you would think that Jason Statham can't fight for anything.
Yeah.
And that's because he's one of the narrators of the movie. Yeah. We talked about this when we watched The Gentleman. You know what I mean? His ability to make those type of characters, like he in that movie, Colin Farrell is like that standout character is the Brad Pitt of that movie essentially. Yeah, Snatch can go. You could put Snatch at 1. I wouldn't even be mad at it. I would disagree, but I'd be like, that's fine. I love Snatch. Right. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. The General. I know this guy. This guy is in every gangster movie that's British especially, but I've never seen this movie. Oh, Brandon Gleeson, that's his name. Paranoia seeps into the mind of gangster Martin Cahill. Oh, I know that name too. I've never seen this movie. Have you seen this movie?
No.
Makes sense. It's a bunch of Irish gangster shit. And I think Martin Cahill is actually a person. I might be wrong.
The IRA, yeah, I mean that's the Irish
Republican Army.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah. They're essentially a terrorist organization in Ireland.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do like Brandon Gleeson though. He's in apparently this movie. He's also in Burgess. He's in
Gangs of New York.
He's in another. Is he in Layer Cake? I think too. Or
I can't remember.
He's either in Layer Cake or another movie around that time, like Rock and Roller or something like that.
Yeah.
He's another banger.
Yeah, he's a guy who could just he could flip either way, any type of role.
And he adds value. Again, another character that, much like Mark Massey. If you see him in a movie, he's not taking anything off the table. You know what I mean? For sure. The Harder They Come. I've never seen this movie. Have you seen The Harder They Come?
No.
Oh, we're fucking up this list here. I've never even heard of this movie. Hold on. Let me give this the same respect I gave the other movie. It's perhaps best known for its infectious reggae soundtrack. Wow, man, I should really watch this movie. Against the best movie songs. Is an important commentary on gangster celebrity. Ivan, played by a reggae singer, but corruption and poverty keep him from success. Wow, this is like the original rap movie. It's like original State Prop. You know what I mean?
Right. And when did this come out?
This is 1972, I believe.
Ooh, man, that's probably going to be a tough watch, too.
Yeah, this is going to be a hardcore blaxploitation movie. Let me, I don't have the sound on, but let's look at some of the imaging here. Oh, the sound, well, let's see here. Well, just look at that scene. Oh, that's a banging song, though. Yeah, this is going to be a rough watch. Not that it's going to be bad. It's interesting to me. I guess this is based. It doesn't say where this is based at, though. Is this based in Jamaica?
In Jamaica, it looked like Jamaica.
Yeah, right. It looks like Jamaica. I mean, everyone is heavy. Is that patois, right? That's what, or am I wrong? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I can't. Angels with Dirty Faces. I don't know. That just sounds racist to me. I'm going to be honest with you. James Cagney, 1938. That's got to be something racist. Have you seen this?
Yeah. No.
Hits the screen since the most devastating blast of drama. 1938 can't be that good. I'm going to be honest with you. They should really make these lists like post 1980, right. Except for The Godfather.
The Departed.
This is, I mean, it's unfair for me to say that I would have this in my top 10 because there's so much recency bias in saying that The Departed would be in my top 10 gangster movies.
Yeah.
But it really is like fascinating. Great character building. It's a great they build this dichotomy between Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon that's like it's just fantastic. You're watching this one glorious life and this one shitty life come crashing into each other, all at the point of Jack Nicholson, where people hate Jack Nicholson's performance. I have no problem with Jack Nicholson's performance. I get it's over the top, but I literally have no problem with anything Jack Nicholson does throughout this fucking movie. Yeah. Like, I feel like people get too critical about shit like that. It's like, nah, he's fire in this movie. He's just pitching 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this too low, too high? What do you think? This is better than Scarface to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we got that's a few movies that we've just said are better than Scarface. So just want to you don't have Snatch in front of Scarface, right?
I have to look at
You don't have Snatch in front of Scarface though.
Yeah, I don't think I'll put Snatch in front of
Snatch is in front of Scarface here on this list. I don't know if I agree with that though.
Yeah.
I love Snatch.
Snatch is like one of my favorite movies.
I love Snatch.
But when I think the thing is, I just love it as a movie, like not so much as the gangster. It is a gangster movie.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I'm putting Snatch in front of Scarface.
You know what it was? Here's something we also have to remember. Snatch is funny.
Yes, for sure. It's entertaining, very entertaining.
Entertaining and funny.
Yeah.
So like when I think of gangster movie, I think of more serious.
Yeah.
Type of tone.
I mean, but The Departed is
better than Scarface. The Departed is just like.
Well, and Departed has some funny moments that are not Snatch has intentionally funny moments, right? The Departed has that unintentional funny moments. Like Alec Baldwin's character is funny in this movie.
Oh yeah,
shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, and you know what else though too? You know what I could appreciate, and maybe I'm drawing a blank, but I couldn't think of any movie that really cast light um on like Boston crime.
Mm-hmm. Well, except for one of the movies the movie that we didn't see in 19 with
Oh yeah. Oh, the Freddie Coyle.
Yeah, about Eddie Coyle, isn't it? Whatever. Coyle? Yeah, the Friends of Eddie Coyle.
Yeah, so yeah, I never seen that. So
correct.
It just felt spot on. It felt kind of like a window of like a world I never knew, like really got to see. So I really, and I like how I like the accents, you know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, and especially me and you, we love a good accent.
For sure. Give me a good accent all day. You know what I mean? Even if it's a bad accent, give it to me. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing. We're not talking about no like French.
No.
We're talking about like the gritty.
Yeah.
New York, you know, like things where you can put like sayings to them. And,
correct. Yeah.
You go like,
Yeah.
Like if you could, you know,
Boston, the Southie Projects, you know what I mean? Like all of it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Any movie where they say a lot of stuff about the Southie Projects, I'm in for. You know what I mean? There hasn't been a bad movie where they mention the Southie Projects.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And The Departed is the first time I learned about the Southie Projects, even though I think they mention it in but I had seen that after The Departed. What's the movie with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck? Good Will
The Town.
Oh, no, Good Will Hunting.
Oh, Matt Damon's definitely not in The Town.
He is not in The Town. Long Good Friday. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like The Town. If The Town pops up on here, I'll give you my take on The Town.
Oh, I love The Town.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I'm not a big fan of The Town.
Oh, you know why? Because it's a heist movie.
I like heist movies. That may not be on here. Yeah.
It shouldn't be on here. It's a heist.
But they are kind of like a little crime syndicate-ish, you know what I mean?
It's true. But
and they are dealing with that one gangster dude who owns the flower shop, right? So, you know, I can see it pop up on here.
Yeah.
The Long Good Friday, I've never heard of this, but Helen Mirren is in here, and she's fire always, so.
And Bob Hoskins.
I don't know who Bob Hoskins is. I'm going to be honest with you.
I thought he was the guy who played Mario in the Mario movie. And he the detective in Roger Rabbit.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. That's a shame for him then. He's been in some Mario in the Super Mario movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
John Leguizamo. No, and he regretted that movie.
Oh, yeah. Everyone involved regretted that movie. I mean, that is like an all-time. If I gave you an all-time list of bad movies, that one is number one.
Here's.
And then there's like Mortal Kombat 2 is like up there also.
No, and here's the thing. John Leguizamo, he plays Luigi in that movie. And there's a role that he passed up. It's insane. And I'm gonna look for it while we're doing this. But he thought, you know, doing the Super Mario Brothers would be like a better for his career at the time.
Yeah.
He you know, of course, that was the wrong thing. Like the other movie definitely would have lifted him up.
Yeah, that's like along the same lines where you're looking that up there's always conversations about Tom Hanks and what's his face who ends up doing Michael Keaton, where they were kind of on a similar trajectory. Yeah. And then Michael Keaton passes up, what movie does he passes up something for Batman?
Yeah.
And then Tom Hanks does Philadelphia and takes off and becomes Tom Hanks. And then Michael Keaton kind of goes on this like little journey. Not that Michael Keaton has had a bad career, but it's just no one is looking at Michael Keaton like Tom Hanks, put it that way. Even though I like Michael Keaton. Again, he's in my favorite newspaper movie, which will be another podcast we do.
Bro, you know what it was? John Leguizamo turned down a role in Philadelphia for
speaking of the devil in Philadelphia, done wondrous things for every single person in that movie. You know what I mean? Like, essentially, that's like a launching pad for Michael Keaton, for Tom Hanks, and for Denzel Washington, kind of.
That's insane.
Poor John Leguizamo. He took Super Mario Brothers. Wow. one of the worst movies. That they put metal boots on them for no apparent reason. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I don't know. Okay, well, anyway, we haven't seen The Long Good Friday. Moving on.
Yep.
Oh, here's Boys in the Hood. Okay, I'm sorry. So I fucked up and said he was in Menace Society. He's in Boys in the Hood. I fucked that up. I deserve to get yelled at for that. Someone should shit on me for saying that for fucking that up. Again, I like Menace better than Boys in the Hood. This list is kind of making me feel like shit though, because it has it so much higher than Menace. I mean, it's like 9 spots higher.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it though. What do you? I mean, I wonder. Man, I feel like I gotta go back and rewatch both of these movies.
You know, but Boys in the Hood has like a lot of iconic scenes too.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. Yeah,
you know,
the
like,
Ricky thing. Yeah. And I mean, the gentrification thing. But see, because that could also put this higher, just because of that level of thinking at that time. You know what I mean? Maybe I wasn't ready to hear that when I first watched Boys in the Hood over Menace. Right. Menace is just the old dog character is so crazy to me that it just feels like it's more entertaining, at least. You know what I mean?
Right. And there's so many like, I guess when you look at this movie, so many like big characters who became, you know, pretty big actors.
Yeah, for sure.
Was it Morris Chestnut?
Yeah.
This guy, Ice Cube. You know,
Ice Cube,
he was a rapper, but it was like his first like really big
his first acting role. Yeah.
And it was John Singleton's first movie.
Correct. Yeah, which launches a pretty good career after that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at this being here. This is better than Scarface. So.
Yeah.
Right. How many movies have we said now are better than Scarface?
You said this is better than Scarface?
Correct. Yeah.
Nah.
I'm tripping. Okay.
Not what I look for gangster. I look for dark. Like there's like I feel like there's a positive message with this. Like Scarface was a insane ride that was very dark.
Yeah, and Scarface is an early anti-hero. But I guess that is a thing in gangster movies generally. But
yeah.
All right, let's see what else. Miller's Crossing. I've never seen this movie. I've
never seen it either, and I think it was one of those movies I tried it and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah. I mean, Coen Brothers.
Scarface is better than that.
We're playing Scarface in front of me. Okay, I haven't seen Miller's Crossing. The Hate Touch of Evil. I've never even heard of this. Charleston Heston, though. Have you seen this?
No.
The film served as a return for Orson Welles. Interesting. Fun at that. That's interesting. There has to be some sort of weird message about Orson Welles here. The French Connection. This is one of those movies that doesn't age that well to me. I literally watched this maybe a week ago, and I fell asleep. It just doesn't age that well.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't age well because Gene Hackman is wild racist. He's just wild racist in this movie.
Yeah, and I feel like it more.
I mean, it was the point though. It's the point for him to be racist. It just feels it feels over the top. Like it just feels over the top. The cops, gang case, one coup at a time. Yeah. This is see here's the problem with this list now. There's a clear problem with this list. French Connection is this high because it has iconic things about it.
Right.
And if that's going to be the case, then Scarface needs to be higher. Because this movie is not that good to me. You know what I mean? So. And
it's to me, it's more of like a cop movie.
It is. It's a cop movie. For sure, it's a cop movie. But The Untouchables is a cop movie too. But I don't know. I don't know. You see, that's the problem with crime movies. You know what I mean? It's like so hard to tell.
You're right. But in Untouchables, some of the best scenes are and
the point of The Untouchables is the ultimate gangster movie, right? It's about what's his face. It's about Al Capone. You know what I mean? They're chasing Al Capone. This is
on the cover of the DVD.
It's correct.
He's like almost the whole thing.
Almost the whole thing. Yeah, it's very Silence of the Lambs-ish. You know what I mean? All right, let's move on. Fuck French Connection. I would drop it. I've never heard of this movie. Look at this. Nothing here makes me want to watch this one. I'm going to be honest with you. They're shooting guns in underwear.
And the fact that,
You're going to see Bennett flopping.
If they put it this high.
Yeah.
And you have two guys in their panties.
That looks like what's his face right there, though.
Gomorrah.
Based on the book of the same name about the real mafia group from Napoli. I'm about to fuck that up. Indictment of gangster films that have inspired young people condemned in this way as Scarface. Yeah. They want to be like someone, but the life of crime they find is not the one they had envisioned from the movies. No one. Let's put this. Is this a trailer? Let's see. Let's put this trailer on here real quick. Oh, it's Martin Scorsese.
It says presents.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. You know what this is? This is the Italian organized crime shocked the world under police protection ever since. Oh, interesting. This is what was the movie in Brazil?
City of God.
This is the Italian City of God.
I was about to say that.
That's what this is. Yeah, it's very clearly the Italian City of God. And City of God is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
A Prophet. What the fuck is this? What movies are you giving me? List? What is this?
This is like a foreign film.
I'm tired of this. Stop giving me these movies. Not that there's anything wrong with foreign films, but there's just
there you go, City of God.
City of God. Of course City of God is on here. Listen, but don't stop giving me foreign films then. City of God is a fucking classic. I mean, this is this movie, it's not ahead of its time necessarily. Man, or is it though? I don't even know. I mean, this is like Menace Society in Brazil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, essentially is what it is. This movie is fucking incredible. Right. I'm not mad at this. I don't think gangster movies when this is – I'm not thinking City of God when you say gangster movies. Though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is better than Scarface,
though. Oh, yeah. I'll give you that.
What do we got, 5 movies?
That are better than Scarface?
So far?
Yeah, that's fine.
The next 6 are going to be better than Scarface. I'm almost sure of it. Okay. Unless they're going to give me another one of these ones from Italy over here. I don't know.
Eastern Promise? Nah.
That's a little high for Eastern Promise. I like Eastern Promise. Maybe I got to rewatch it again. I like Eastern Promises. And you know what's funny about this? I will say this about Eastern Promises, though.
Well, I'm a big Vigo fan.
I love Viggo Mortensen better than anyone, and that's a joke. It's actually Viggo Mortensen, because if you ever watch Always Sunny, you ever seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
How's it Stein?
Huh?
How's it Stein?
It's not, but have you ever seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No. I've seen the show, but I haven't seen that episode.
There's an episode where they're doing, they have like a Halloween party, and and Dennis wants to go as Mario and Luigi. And instead of Max showing up as Luigi, Max shows up as what's his face from Lord of the Rings. His character in Lord of the Rings, which is what the hell's his name? They call him the Strider, but he has a name anyway. And he says, "Yeah, but I wanted to come as Viggo Mortensen." You know what I mean? Anyway, Viggo is the shit.
Yeah.
To the point, I put somebody on Carlito's way recently, and I was like, how about Viggo Mortensen's character in that movie? They were like, where was Viggo Mortensen? I'm like, exactly. That's how fucking good of an actor Viggo is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I don't think it's better than, like, as far as like Scarface, but I think the Viggo Mortensen character is banging.
No, he's fire. I'm not clear. He's a cop at the end of the movie, right?
I can't remember, but I remember like everything about him, like the tats. You know, the naked fight scene in the shower, which was bad unnecessarily, just dogs flopping all over the place. I don't want to fight you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Viggo don't care about that. Viggo will fight naked.
No, Viggo's gonna fight naked for sure. We've seen it. I mean, we saw it in the movie. If you approach me for a fight and you're naked, you've won the fight already. We don't even need to fight. You win, bro. Yeah. What do you need from me? What do you want from me? You want to rob me? Here's the money. We're not fighting. What I was gonna say, we know gangster movies so much for New York mob stuff. Yeah. We don't see a lot of Russian mafia stuff, I feel like. Or we don't see, like, I think there's like an Israeli or a Jewish mafia or something like that. We don't see a lot of stuff like that. Other than Al Capone, we don't ever see Chicago. One thing that I thought about, because in every gangster movie or every fucking gangster interview I've ever seen, they always reference people in Kansas City. I've never seen a movie about anyone in Kansas City. Like, who's there?
True.
Right? You know what I mean? So I always appreciate when they go out a little bit. That's even credit to Scarface, right? Go a little bit outside and give me something different. You know what I mean? And Eastern Promises does exactly that. This is a banging movie. I think we find out, spoiler alert, that he's a cop at the end. Even though I spoiled it like 5 minutes ago, but
yeah,
I think he's a cop the whole time. But this is a banging movie. I think it's too high though. Maybe I got to rewatch it. It's a little bit high. Come on with this, man. See, I don't want to. There's no way a 1931 movie is better. I know this. This is the movie I was referencing. I'm sorry, earlier was Public Enemy, because this is the movie that everyone gives credit for inspiring every gangster movie after it. Essentially.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
I'm surprised. I feel like this is a movie you would have gone out of your way to watch. It's a movie that both of us would have done, but
I feel like I tried.
I for sure tried. I just didn't want to watch it.
Right.
Because it was made in 1931.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me a silent picture and tell me it's the fifth best gangster movie? You know what I mean? Come on. It's not silent, but you get the point. Yeah. Come on with this shit. 1931. Once Upon a Time in America. I feel like this is a little bit high.
This is way high.
This is kind of high. Yeah.
And this movie, to me, has to be, no lie, like 10 hours long.
I think it's just that boring, in my opinion.
Yeah. What's the runtime on this joint?
He originally, look at the second paragraph right here. He originally wanted the film to be split into 2 3-hour features. This is like Charlton Heston's The Ten Commandments features, but the studio told him he had to cut it into one film, cut it down to 269 minutes.
I told you.
Was further cut without his permission to 139. But the American version. Okay, so he conceded to 229. So my man wanted this to be almost 4 hours long.
Yeah.
But then they cut it down to 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's not that long. I just felt like this movie is kind of boring.
Yeah, so they basically 1917 this dude's life. This guy's life.
In 2012, it was restored to the 255-minute version. Which is a shame because it's such a terrific film. No, y'all are getting too cutesy. Y'all getting too art house. I understand why this movie has to be on this list. Yeah. But I didn't like this movie that much. Maybe I got to rewatch it, but I was not impressed. You know what I mean? Like, I watched this because I had watched it so close to watching to watch it, The Godfathers. Because I watched those kind of late in life, like in the 2000s. And this movie didn't even sniff Godfather 1 and 2. In no way, shape, or form. And if it's 5, that means it's sniffing Godfather 1 and 2 in some shape or form, and it's not.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. This is not better than Scarface to me. Yeah, this is one to me, but, go ahead. What could you say about The Godfather? Like,
Yeah.
This is unimpeachable. And I think it's better than I'll talk about why it's better when we get to Godfather 2, which I'm positive is number 1 on this list. I don't even think it's a question, probably. Yeah, let's move on because we'll talk about both these Godfathers.
Okay, wait, before you go.
Okay.
Never mind.
No, go ahead. What you want to say?
We could guess the top 2.
So I didn't see number 2. Did you see number 2?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you saw number 2. Okay, let me try to see if I can guess what number 2 is.
What's number 1?
Oh, number 1 has got to be Godfather 2.
Okay.
And number 2, I'm gonna say.
Oh no. So if they put Goodfellas.
What the fuck? Holy shit! Wait a minute. We haven't seen Casino or Goodfellas on this list.
Yeah, so Goodfellas is 2, because I just saw it, and then Casino's gonna be 1.
No, there's no way. You think?
Yeah, it has to be. And
you think that they're gonna put Casino above Godfather 2? Literally, people say Godfather 2 is like the greatest movie.
Godfather 2 is not gonna. Yeah, there's no way you can't put Casino on there.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm so excited now for the reveal. All right, before we get to that, let's talk about Goodfellas. Let's just watch it. Well, let's talk all about these all at the same time. Let's see what number 1 is. Now I'm pissed off. Of course. Of course.
So Casino's not on here.
So let's before we get to that ridiculous.
They got Gomorrah, The Killing, Eddie Coyle, and they don't got Casino. Get out of here.
These all put 1934 movie, 1945. Don't give me Charlton Heston. Give me goddamn Casino. All right, look, before we talk about, because there's 2 movies that are missed here, in my opinion. Two fairly big movies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That I think you're actually going to agree with. Godfather Part 2 is, to people, the greatest movie of all time. To a lot of people.
Yeah.
There is a large segment of the population who believe this is the best movie of all time. It's a fantastic movie. I watched, 1 week. The Godfathers are so good, right? That one weekend, like in around Thanksgiving, I was home. This was around what's this movie that was on Netflix that had come out?
The Irishman.
The Irishman, which you could make an argument should be on this list somewhere. You could make the argument. I watched it, and then I proceeded to watch Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 right after. You're talking about like a 10-hour day. You know what I mean? Like, you put work in on this couch to watch these movies. Godfather 2 is great. I just think it's disjointed, in my opinion. It's a little disjointed, which, you know what? People are going to hear this and shit on me, because who the fuck am I to say it's disjointed? Yeah. I just don't find a lot of...
that's why people like it.
But I don't enjoy the Robert De Niro scenes that much.
Oh, you're tripping.
I guess so, right? Yeah, I'm tripping. The reason why people love the movie is the reason why I don't like it as much as Godfather 1 is what I'm saying. I like Godfather 1 more is all I'm saying.
Here's the thing. I think people love to see how people made it. So that's why I like Goodfellas. You like these, so you kind of like the journey. So that's why I kind of like whatchamacallit. But I feel like what was the other one that you said you missed? Like, I'm fine with this being number 1. I can't believe Casino's not on here.
Give me 1 second, though, because the one thing I do want to say that is great to give this movie its proper flowers is that the best thing it does is the mirror of looking at Michael's life against his father's life, and essentially Michael really failing everything that his father, like every value that his father had. Michael is essentially failing the entire way. Loses his family, kills his own brother. His sister is fucking a lunatic. Like, he essentially ruins the family that his father built. Godfather 1, I enjoy Godfather 1 better. But I'll keep that opinion to myself from now on. I get it. I get why people love Part 2 better than 1. Right. I think 1 is just better. Let's talk about... Well, okay. So Casino, I have Casino better than Goodfellas. Goodfellas, same thing to me. It's a little bit disjointed. It just starts going all over the place a little bit to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Casino should be on here, and to me, Road to Perdition should be on here. Like, Road to Perdition is better than Eastern Promises. Road to Perdition to me is better than Scarface. Shit, I would have Road to Perdition as a top 5 gangster movie in my book. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, Road to Perdition is a banger. Is there any other movies I can think of that should be on here? Carlito's Way. If that's a gangster movie, then Carlito's Way should be on here too.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Carlito's Way is better than Scarface to me by a million times. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You know what I mean? What are you looking at? Another list?
Yeah, I'm looking at a list, and I think the problem is, like, some of these movies are like, when you talk about mob, Gangs of New York. Oh no, Gangs of New York is a gangster. Would you consider that? Or
absolutely. Based on this list, absolutely. I mean,
it says gangs.
Yeah, 100%. It's about gangs of New York. You know what I mean? It's literally about this list. You know what I mean? Yes, Gangs of New York should be on this list.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie, man.
Gangs of New York is better than Scarface.
Oh, yeah.
We have pushed Scarface out of the top 10 at this point.
No, we haven't. We're rated at 10.
Okay, hold on. Godfather 1 and 2, better than Scarface, right?
Okay.
Casino.
Okay.
Goodfellas.
Okay.
Are you saying, is Road to Perdition better than Scarface to you?
No. I like it, but when I talk about gangster,
so Tom Hanks not gangster enough.
That's the trumpet.
Tom Hanks not gangster enough for you in that movie. Okay, you got it.
No, it's a father. It's it's the story is mostly like father and son.
Okay.
Keep going.
Carlito's Way, is that better than Scarface to you?
Yes.
Yes. I'm about to hang up.
Yeah.
Well, what other was on here? So that's 5. Departed is better.
Yes.
That's 6.
Okay.
6 right there. Don't start counting. Don't start counting because then you're gonna get to 9 and you're gonna be like, wait. You know what I mean? What other movie was on here? Hold on, let me see. Oh, Gangs in New York, right?
Yeah.
7. Let's see here. What else we got on this trash list? No, it's definitely not Eastern Promises. That's not going to be the answer here. City of God?
No, it's not better than City of God.
Oh, Scarface is not better than City of God.
Correct.
8.
Yo, what do you think about Sugar Hill or have you seen Sugar Hill before?
Years ago. Not enough that I remember it.
Or New Jack City?
New Jack City is another iconic movie, but is it that good?
Movie. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it was that good.
Yeah.
It was like kind of iconic for that time, but I don't think it was that good.
And it's iconic in a very cult classic kind of way. Scarface is a cult classic, but also was a popular classic for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, there's some movies I'm seeing that they didn't like. Public Enemies.
Yeah, but that movie was boring as shit to me.
Yeah, it was. Gangster Squad was boring.
Yeah, I didn't like Gangster Squad. That was like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm looking at these lists, and then of course they got the the movies from like long ago.
Such of Evil.
They put the Bronx Tale, but I don't think Bronx Tale is a mobster movie.
Oh, that is how is it not a mobster movie? It's about
it's not a gangster. I know, but I don't think it's a gangster movie. Like what you look for in a gangster movie?
How not? I just need to know how not. There's a mafia. They literally lock a bunch of bikers in a bar and beat the shit out of those bikers.
Yeah, it was like one fight scene and then a bat scene. That's it.
So you want more violence in your gangster movies, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right, Boys in the Hood, is that better than Scarface? You said no already, right?
No.
To me, it is. You're just wilding. Let's see what else we got here. We said The Departed already. Now you're gonna skate by on your because I can't think of other movies. It's gonna make me.
I told you. It's a top 10.
It's not top 10. Snatch. You say you don't think Snatch is better than Scarface, right?
Not in gangster movie, I think Snatch is a better movie. But when you talk about gangster, because Snatch fulfills like almost like it's on a whole nother realm.
How about Blow? Should Blow be on this list? I mean, it's the same as Scarface almost.
I think it's better than Scarface.
Blow is better than Scarface to me, yeah.
No. I think you know what it is?
The first question is
Johnny Depp. The thing is just Johnny Depp is not like a gangster.
Yeah.
He gets away. He's just a mastermind.
Correct.
So I think that's where I kind of,
okay.
When I think about it.
Okay. Donnie Brasco's better.
Yes.
That's 9. You son of a bitch. This is going to make me so angry. Menace Society, you're not going to say is better.
I'm surprised they didn't. Actually, I don't think this. I thought this movie was boring too. I think it had a lot more potential. Black Mass.
Yeah, I didn't. Black Mass wasn't good enough.
Like I like Johnny Depp in it, but
Untouchables is not better than Scarface now. It's definitely not killing him softly. That really killed me softly when we first saw it. Friends of Eddie Coyle, get the fuck out of my face. King of New York, you didn't like better than Scarface, right?
Correct.
Man, I think it's better than Scarface. Fine, you right now you have Scarface literally at 10.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But I'm gonna shoot movies. I'm gonna shoot a bunch of movies at you that are gonna push it out eventually because it's fine, whatever. This list was disappointing. I'm gonna make my own list, and it's gonna be post 1980 movies, except for the 2 Godfathers that have to be on the list because they have to be. But for Casino to not be on this list is probably the most sacrilegious thing I've seen.
Yeah.
You could take a shit on a literal crucifix, and I would find that less sacrilegious than not putting Scarface. I'm not putting Casino on this fucking movie somewhere. Like, literally is a top 5 mob movie. It has to be like.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's crazy. I'm seeing a list, and it says the top black gangster movies.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
so they got Paid in Full, Belly, Dead Presidents.
Paid in Full better than Scarface.
Nah. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's better than Scarface for sure. I'm naked out here, B.
Well, I mean, I'm still in the area. Like, if it's 11, 12, I mean, it's like in 10. It's around 10.
Listen, if I can get you out of the top 10, then I can start flooding it really and pushing it out of the top 12 and then out of the top 14. That's my goal.
Belly was boring.
Yeah, I didn't like Belly. But Belly is, listen, Belly is a poor man Scarface in terms of how iconic it is, because it's like, it's iconic. It's iconic is what it is. It's an iconic movie. It's not good, though. I did not like Belly. No, I was never a fan of Belly. Now, even when it first came out, I was like, I love DMX. I don't like DMX and Belly. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, that's fair. I think we're cool to stop there. No other honorable mention. Paid in Full could definitely make an appearance on this list. I think it should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should. Honestly, but like we said, these lists be getting mad cute, and they just go with the art.
Well, I mean, Gangs of New York is a big one too.
Gangs of New York needs to be on this list.
Big time.
Casino needs to be on this list. Road to Perdition needs to be on this list, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sometimes I gotta.
So, yeah. Okay.
Right.
So,
I mean, sometimes I gotta coach. And sometimes